Animal testing. It's a topic that has been debated for decades, stirring up emotions and opinions from all sides. It's one of those topics that can turn a dinner party into a shouting match faster than you can say lab-grown meat. Friends become foes, and polite conversation turns into a battleground of ethics and science. On one hand, we have adorable, fluffy creatures being poked and prodded. These animals, often seen as innocent and defenseless, become the center of a heated debate. On the other, we have life-saving medicines and groundbreaking scientific discoveries. The advancements in medical science, from vaccines to treatments for chronic diseases, owe a lot to these experiments. It's a moral minefield, folks, and there are no easy answers. The ethical considerations are complex, involving the welfare of animals and the potential benefits to human health. So, buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into the wacky world of animal testing. We'll explore the history, the science, and the ethical dilemmas that make this such a contentious issue. We'll be exploring the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. From the success stories of medical breakthroughs to the heart-wrenching tales of animal suffering, we'll cover it all. We'll be laughing, we'll be crying, okay, maybe not crying, and we'll be questioning everything we thought we knew. The journey will be filled with surprising facts, emotional stories, and thought-provoking questions. But hey, at least it's not boring, right? Whether you're a staunch advocate for animal rights or a supporter of scientific progress, there's something here for everyone. So let's get started and see where this wild ride takes us. Let's face it, animal testing has played a pretty significant role in some major scientific breakthroughs. Think vaccines for diseases like polio and rabies. Think insulin for diabetics. Think organ transplantation, which, let's be honest, is about as sci-fi as it gets. Animal testing has helped us understand how diseases work, how our bodies function, and how new drugs might affect us. It's given us insights we wouldn't have been able to get any other way. And yes, it saved countless human lives. So yeah, animal testing, it's complicated. Okay, time to address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the chimpanzee in the lab. Using animals in research raises some serious ethical concerns. We're talking about sentient beings, capable of feeling pain, fear, and distress. Is it right to subject them to experiments, even if it's for the greater good? Is it okay to keep them confined in labs, often in less than ideal conditions? These are tough questions, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It's enough to make you want to go hug the nearest puppy. Don't worry, we'll get to the more uplifting part soon. Hold on to your hats, folks, because it's about to get numerical up in here. Millions of animals are used in research each year. We're talking mice, rats, fish, rabbits, monkeys, and even dogs and cats. Now, before you grab your pitchforks and torches, it's important to note that these numbers can be misleading. The vast majority of animals used are rodents, and they're not all being subjected to painful procedures. Some are simply being observed in their natural habitats. Still, the sheer scale of animal testing can be pretty alarming. Section 5, real-life lab partners from guinea pigs to, well, guinea pigs. Let's put some faces to the numbers, shall we? Remember Dolly the sheep? Dolly wasn't just any sheep, she was a scientific marvel. Born in 1996, she was the first mammal to be cloned from an adult somatic cell using the process of nuclear transfer. This groundbreaking achievement was a monumental step in the field of genetic engineering and biotechnology. Dolly's creation paved the way for potential breakthroughs in regenerative medicine, offering hope for the development of new treatments for debilitating diseases. Scientists began to explore the possibilities of cloning organs for transplants, potentially saving countless lives. Dolly's existence opened up a world of possibilities, but it also raised numerous ethical questions about the extent to which we should manipulate life. And then there's Laika, the Soviet dog who became the first living creature to orbit the Earth. Laika's journey into space in 1957 was a significant milestone in the space race, demonstrating that living beings could survive the conditions of outer space. Her mission provided invaluable data that paved the way for human space exploration. These animals, and countless others like them, have made invaluable contributions to science. From guinea pigs to mice and from fruit flies to zebrafish, these creatures have been at the forefront of scientific discovery. They have helped us understand complex biological processes, develop new medications, and even explore the mysteries of the universe. But their stories are often bittersweet, marked by both triumph and tragedy. While their contributions have led to significant advancements, the ethical implications of using animals in research cannot be ignored. Many of these animals endure suffering and sacrifice their lives for the sake of progress. Their stories remind us of the heavy price that is often paid in the pursuit of knowledge. They remind us of the complex ethical dilemmas at the heart of animal testing. The use of animals in research has always been a contentious issue, with strong arguments on both sides. On one hand, animal testing has led to life-saving treatments and scientific breakthroughs. On the other hand, it raises serious ethical concerns about the welfare and rights of these animals. And they leave us with a lingering question: at what cost progress? As we continue to push the boundaries of science, we must constantly evaluate the ethical implications of our actions. The stories of these animals serve as a poignant reminder that progress often comes with a price, and it is our responsibility to ensure that the benefits outweigh the costs. Section 6. The alternatives. Can we test tubes, not animals? The good news is that scientists are constantly working on developing alternatives to animal testing. We're talking computer models, cell cultures, and even organs on chips. These methods hold immense promise, not only for reducing animal suffering but also for potentially providing more accurate and human-relevant results. Imagine that. Science that's both ethical and effective. Now, wouldn't that be something? Section 7. The 3 R's. Because even science can be humane. Even when animal testing is deemed necessary, there are ways to make it more ethical. Enter the 3 R's: replacement, reduction, and refinement. Replacement means finding alternatives to animal testing whenever possible. Reduction means using the minimum number of animals necessary for statistically significant results. And refinement means minimizing any pain or distress experienced by the animals. It's like a kinder, gentler approach to scientific research. Public perception. What do people really think? Animal testing is a hot-button issue and public opinion is divided. Some people believe it's absolutely necessary while others believe it's cruel and outdated. Then there are those who fall somewhere in between, struggling to reconcile their love for animals with their support for medical progress. It's enough to make your head spin. A global perspective: animal testing around the world. Animal testing regulations vary widely from country to country. Some have strict laws in place to protect laboratory animals, while others have little to no oversight. This global patchwork of regulations highlights the need for international cooperation and harmonization of standards. We need to work together to ensure that animals used in research are treated humanely, regardless of where in the world they are. It's a small world, after all, even for laboratory animals. The future of research: a crystal ball without the cruelty. So, what does the future hold for animal testing? Will we reach a point where it's completely replaced by alternative methods? It's hard to say for sure, but there's definitely reason for optimism. With advancements in technology, growing awareness of animal welfare, and increasing public pressure, the day may come when we no longer have to rely on animals for our scientific endeavors. And wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? The verdict: to test or not to test, that is the question. Animal testing is a complex issue with no easy answers. It's a topic that has sparked debates for decades, with strong arguments on both sides. On one hand, we have the undeniable advancements in medicine and science that have been made possible through animal testing. On the other hand, we face the ethical dilemma of causing potential harm to living creatures. It's a balancing act between scientific progress and animal welfare, between the needs of humanity and the rights of other living creatures. The scales often tip back and forth as new information and perspectives come to light. Scientists and ethicists alike grapple with finding a middle ground that respects both the pursuit of knowledge and the sanctity of life. There's no denying the contributions that animal testing has made to medicine and science. From vaccines to treatments for chronic diseases, many medical breakthroughs owe their existence to research conducted on animals. These advancements have saved countless human lives and improved the quality of life for many more. But there's also no denying the ethical concerns it raises. The sight of animals in cages subjected to experiments has led to widespread protests and calls for alternative methods. Animal rights activists argue that the suffering inflicted on these creatures is unjustifiable, regardless of the potential benefits to humans. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to support animal testing is a personal one. It requires careful consideration of the facts, the ethical implications, and one's own values. Engaging in discussions with others can provide new insights and help shape a more informed perspective. But hey, at least now you're armed with the information you need to make an informed decision. Whether you choose to support or oppose animal testing, it's important to stay informed and continue the conversation. After all, the quest for knowledge and ethical responsibility is a journey that we all share.